Hello Year 1, Miss Mead here. I'm going to tell you about the plan that me and Miss Hollinshead have put together for you. So lots of different activities for the 18th of May. It is quite a long video and there's lots of ideas on here, so we definitely don't expect you to do everything. And I'm going to hold up the different parts like this so you can maybe skip to the things that you're interested in or things that you think, oh yeah, I really need to practice that. So hopefully you can find things a bit easier on the video. You can also go to the plan on the website on our Year 1 page, and it should have been emailed to you as well. Okay, so let's see. We'll start off with English then, guys. So we've picked 4 activities for you. The first one is all about punctuation. So when to use either full stops, question marks, or exclamation marks. So we've got some sentences for you, but can you see there's no punctuation at the end of the sentences, are there? So it's your job to have a little look at them and see if you can choose which would be the right one. Let's do the first one together. My dad is mowing the lawn. So is that a question? Do we need an answer? Do we need to say, my dad is mowing the lawn? No, it's just telling us something, isn't it? It's not a question. Let's see, is it something very exciting or something we need to emphasise? So do we need an exclamation mark? No, it's a pretty ordinary thing, isn't it, mowing the lawn? I need to mow my lawn, actually. Okay, so let's try full stop. My dad is mowing the lawn, full stop. Yeah, that seems right, doesn't it? Okay, so give those ones a go if you get a chance. The second activity is all about prefixes and suffixes. So the ones we look at in Year 1, can you remember the prefix un? So prefix go at the beginning of a word to change the meaning, and suffixes go at the end. So can you remember any that we look at in Year 1? Yeah, the ed suffix, isn't it? Okay, we also look at plurals, so when you add s or es at the end of the words. And Miss Hollinshead has found a really good game for you with some superheroes on. So if you want to go onto the plan and click the link there, that's a good way of playing it, and it reads the sentences to you as well if they're too tricky. If not, you can have a look at the ones here. You can see I've got a little line where the prefix or suffix should be. We'll do the first one together. They're all about a market stall where the writing's been wiped off the signs of the market stall, and the stall sells fruit and vegetables. So we'll see what the first one says. Special offer on blank ripe bananas. Right, does ED make sense? Special offer on ripe bananas. No. It's not a plural because it's not at the end of it. Oh, right, it must be a prefix. Special offer on unripe bananas. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. So you can have a little look at those if you like. Now the third English activity is actually all about nouns, and it's in this new workbook that you should have had delivered to your house. If you haven't had it delivered, give the school a call and we'll get one to you. Okay, so it's actually page 2, looking at nouns. And when you finish that page, you could extend it a little bit, maybe choose some of your, so a noun is a person, place or thing. So you could choose some of your favourite things, name them, or maybe put them into a sentence. So one of my favourite things that I've got in my house is my binoculars here. So the noun is binoculars, and the sentence I've made is, these are my binoculars and I like them because they help me to see birds. And I made a little mistake in my sentence there, but don't worry if you make a mistake. You can just cross it out and write what you meant to say over the top. Okay, so just fix it like that if you make a mistake. Even if you just say them out loud, that's fine. Still making good sentences even if you don't get round to writing them. Okay, and the fourth activity is on page 3. Okay, so we've got lots of sentences with nouns in here. And when you finish that, you could take your reading book, like I did, and I've had a look in my reading book. This is the one I'm reading. And I've found some nouns. So I found canopy, bark, oak, and foliage. Okay, there's some foliage on the front there as well. Okay, so you could find some nouns in your reading book. Say them out loud or write them down, it's up to you. Okay, so that's the English. The next part I'll tell you about is the phonics. Okay, phonics and SPAG. SPAG stands for spelling and grammar. Okay, so I'll show you those here. The first one is my group, Miss Hollinshead's group, and Mrs. Riley's and Mr. Litchfield's group. That's one very, very big group, and here are your spellings. So we're actually recapping some sounds that you've done before because they're quite tricky, so we thought it'd be good to have another practice of those. Okay, I'll do Miss Flannery's group next. Here you go. They are on the plan as well, but perhaps you could pause the video and have a look there. Okay, I'll show you Mrs. Gibson's group. Here we go. And Miss Perez's group. Okay. Right, so if you want to have a practice of those spellings, guys, that would be great. Perhaps test yourself on a Friday like we do when we're in school. If anyone's forgotten their group or whose group they're in, that's fine. Just give us a call or an email to the school and we'll help you out with that. Okay, maths next then. Now, maths is seeming a little bit complicated. A few people have said, oh, they're finding it a bit tricky to get onto White Rose and things like that. So we're going to try and change it a little bit to make it easier for you. And you've got 3 different options now. So you can go onto the plan or the White Rose website. We are going to email you the worksheets and put them on the website. And I've got some other activities for you as well, in case you're not really enjoying the White Rose ones. So I'll show you those. So this week it's all about measuring length, height and some weight, so the weight of things, okay? So these pages are really good in your new maths book that you should have had. Should have come through your letterbox. And if you have a look at page 28 and 29 on there, that would be great. And if you want to extend that a little bit, you could, I've chosen 3 activities for you to extend that. So this would be nice if you draw a picture of the people in your house and you can label them who's the tallest, who's the shortest. So drawing a picture of your family, or maybe get some toys out, order your toys from tallest to shortest or longest to shortest. And then with the weight, so mass, when you're measuring the weight of things, you can get some objects from around your house. So I've chosen a few here. I've got some oat milk there, I've got some tomatoes and some icing sugar. And you can have a little look for the weight of things. You could perhaps try and order them, which is the heaviest. I think, I'm feeling that one. I think that one's the heaviest. And then I'm feeling these 2. I think that one's the lightest. And then this one comes in between. Okay, I've got them there. Right, so I think I've organised them now. And then what you could do is have a look at the actual weights on there to see if you got it right. We don't worry too much in year 1 about all of the units and things. It's a good idea to know what a kilo feels like, just so you get an idea of that. Perhaps things that are lighter than a kilo or heavier than a kilo. But really it's just about using the language and comparing things. But if you want to take it a bit further, if you want to really challenge yourself, you could, like, this was 500 grams, I can see that on there. But I've used some of the icing sugar. So I could, if I wanted to, weigh it now on some scales and see what the difference between how much there is now and how much there was when it was brand new and full to the top. Okay, that would be a really challenging one. But most importantly, just compare them and have a little think about them. And then when you've done that, order them from heaviest to lightest. Okay, so have a little explore in your kitchen cupboards, guys, see what you've got. Okay, and I hope you like the new book. I would just encourage you guys with the maths and English books, don't race ahead doing all of them if you can. Do whatever suits you, but we will link to the planning. We will link the planning to the books here, so it might be a good idea to stick with us, and we'll do it at the same time. But again, whatever suits your family. Okay, the next one I'm going to tell you about, I've just got 2 more. The next one is the topic. This is kind of my favourite one, to be honest, guys. So you've got some exciting things here. The DT is a design technology. Miss Upton has done another cooking video for you, and this time she's making Rocky Road. Then there's some history, and we're looking at a really interesting person called Harriet Tubman. And she was involved with something called the Underground Railroad. So it's absolutely amazing to hear the incredible journey that she helped people to have. So I'll leave that for you to explore. You can go and watch some videos about that on the plan, or if you do some of your own research. There's science and DT, so that's my boat challenge. I've done another video about that. Don't worry if you haven't started it yet, or any of the science videos. You can start them whenever you want. So it's about making a boat. So design it first and then make it, and try and say what materials you're going to use and why those materials are good. Like I used some tin foil in mine. I used it is shiny. We could describe the property. It's shiny. It's bendy. But the real reason I used it is because it's waterproof. It doesn't let the water through. And I really needed that in my boat. I also think it might be a nice idea, once you've made your boat and tested it, you could maybe evaluate it. Now, when I made mine, I'm thinking if I were to do it again, I'd actually use a bit more tin foil to make it more waterproof. So I'd probably go up the sides. So that's called evaluating, and it helps you to improve your design. But I hope you have fun with that and watch the other video if you want to. Now, PE, throwing for accuracy. There's a really good video on the plan about this, guys. But it's basically about saying you can use anything. Could just be a balled up pair of socks, and teaching yourself how to throw them maybe into like a basket or a colander, something like that, or a bowl, and just improving your throwing, making it nice and accurate. Okay, so the other activities, obviously there's always a nice idea to do a bit of dancing and keeping yourself nice and active, maybe choosing an exercise video that you like. The other one we thought of maybe, some of the children have done this actually. I had a lovely one sent in to us, to me and Mrs. Jews actually. That was lovely to see. And that one was a poem, but you might like to write a poem or a postcard or maybe a prayer, just showing your appreciation for people who are working really hard during the lockdown. So it might be for the NHS, it might be people who are working in shops. It could be you, maybe you're working very hard and you want to write a prayer or a poem or a postcard about that. Or maybe someone in your family. Okay, and the last one is about some books. So just to let you know, I've read this story, and you can watch me reading this story and have a listen if you want to. That's on the Acacia's YouTube channel as well. And I was thinking about doing another video of a book, but I thought I might let you guys choose. So you were really good at sending in your favourite book recommendations for Marcel and Bertie. And I've got some of them here. I didn't have all of them, but I thought maybe you guys could send in, tell me which one you want me to read. So I've got some options for you. This one's The Twits by Roald Dahl, so the same author. If you want me to read The Twits, let me know. The Lorax. There's a Wocket in My Pocket. So if you want me to read that one, let me know. This one is a non-fiction one called Great Women Who Made History. And this one, I haven't read this one actually, but it's called Ocean Star Express. Okay, so let me know which one you want to read, or go on and listen to a story if you want to. Most importantly, guys, obviously look after each other, and if you haven't already done so today, just for our final activity for today, if you haven't done so, maybe go and give someone in your household a hug, and hopefully have a nice day. And hopefully some of these activities, I hope you're going to enjoy them. Okay, take care now. Bye. See you on the next video. Bye.